So we had this strange Greek word here, syntaxis, which was literally transcribed in the demotic as well. How do they translate syntaxis? Is it some kind of salary? Syntaxis. An assigned I think it was mostly like this one, like the subvention or pension or the pay, which we ended up with. So that was the last benefits or beneficial thing we saw that Ptolemy had sort of accorded the temples of Egypt. And then we can continue. Let me see. Anyone wants to try this demotic line here? There's a lot of literal uniliterals, for example, here and here.
I'm happy to try, but my demotic is awful. So
you can try, sure. See what you get.
The first part looks like the eye.
Yeah, right. So you have an eye in the beginning, but the three together, they make up a sign we've seen a few times. If you remember the conjunction and, what is it in the sort of equivalent of henna that we get in the that we have over here in the Egyptian part. So it's what we have, what is usually
like
transferred.
Or nem.
Yeah, exactly.
So IRM.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, then that's just an article. It could be n or t. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, that's right.
I have no idea what this sign here is.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it. So let's just quickly check. Deni, which is share, which becomes toe in the Coptic. It means some portion of, basically. And we see that the sign we have is something like this one. And it's strange to me. When you see the glyphs that it's made up of, the ligature, it's the cartouche, the opening cartouche, and then the Y1, the book scroll thingy. So I don't know how they got there, but that's what we have. I guess maybe Denit in Middle Egyptian is written with the cartouche. If it means
okay, yeah, cartouche is there.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it has to do with the portion. Okay. So we have
so tenit or to share.
Yeah.
And then
we can maybe this one.
Isn't that just the end into it for the plural lines?
Right, it's the plural. So I don't know if we should transcribe it like this.
Oh, and then we know that it's a plural article as well. So we now know that's n.
Absolutely. So we have na here. Okay.
Is that just the relative et?
Yes.
Or nt?
Yep. Absolutely.
Is this meant to be ire or?
No, but it's a very common verb. It's the scarab. It's the scarab glyph, basically.
Doesn't help. Sorry.
Kheper. Kheper. Yeah.
What does that become in Coptic? Shopi. Okay.
Yeah, Shopi. Yeah.
So, and then following that is just the of n.
Mm-hmm.
Another article.
Yeah.
I don't know the first glyph, but is the thing that follows it a divine glyph? So is this some sort of god or being or something?
It's God. It's the equivalent of this is the flag, the God flag. And when it has this sort of trail here, it's when it's the plural.
Okay, so netril, but plural.
Yeah.
So then we know the articles obviously again plural.
Yeah, right. So we have na over here. And then, yeah, right. So this is sort of what we would have in Egyptian, in hieroglyphic, we would have the three flags, and for the plural, and that's sort of what's conveyed by the one flag with the sort of trailing thing. And then this is just also probably three horizontal strokes, so just a plural sign.
Of again. So N again.
Oh.
Now here's something that's spelled out.
Yeah.
So I think the first one is just an article again.
Mm-hmm.
Are these three lines like one letter, like M?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky actually. So this is a uniliteral. It can look like that, like a 2, almost like a 2 kind of number.
Okay.
It's the same one that we have here.
So an aleph.
An aleph, exactly. So we have an aleph.
Then is that meant to be an I? Because those lines look too straight. They're usually
it looks bent. Like it. It's actually this glyph.
Oh, okay. So it's the pharyngeal height. So H with a dot.
Yeah.
Aleph again.
And yeah, so aleph we have here, and then we have the one before.
Yep. Oh.
That's just the plural. I can just say it's just the plural. So we have
just the plural marker.
We have a. Here.
Oh, okay. Then aleph again. I can't tell if that's the L or another one I'm muddling up with.
Yeah, I can't really tell either. It's either an R or an L, right?
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the two.
I don't know how to distinguish them though.
Nah. This one is sort of typically when it has this stroke, it's the L. Right?
Yeah.
So we have another one here.
I'm not too sure what I'm looking at there. It's just a bunch of lines.
If we had maybe if it looked more like this.
Okay, that there is an I.
Yeah, right.
So we have.
That's what we have.
Yep. And then is that meant to be a plural line afterwards?
Yeah, it's a determinative. They say if we let's try and just can you put together the word first, and then we'll check it in the DPDP.
Aleph. I'm gonna go for a double L Y.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. It could be R L Y, but
it could be R. Do you know? Can you figure out which word it is? If in Coptic it's like this.
I do not, unfortunately.
The grapes?
Yeah, right. It's the grapes, exactly. So it's the so you have an ahu, and these go together. But we can just first look at the right. See, grapevine, like this. And then the last sign we have is this. If you see the determinative, it's this tree. Yeah, I don't know what the Gardner's code is, but that's the one we have.
You're just going to assume this is a late Egyptian, no, not but Ptolemaic word, and not Middle or late Egyptian word.
Right, exactly. It looks a bit un-Egyptian to me. I don't know if it is, but it looks a bit sort of. But it's attested from very far back. Yeah. Mm.
Oh, but it's earlier attested with R instead of L.
Yeah, and then as you say, right, we don't really know it becomes an L anyway in Coptic. It's clearly elole. But so I can just keep it like this, sort of RL, and then yeah, it's fine to me. And then u here means a field. So basically, like this.
Oh, and then the aleph there becomes the yod. Ah,
Yeah, exactly. Yod and then the ha, and then if they go together, it means what's it called, vineyard or some kind of a grape, farm.
okay. Another article, probably na, that could be ta.
Probably na, yeah, and it's the exact same. We have the exact
Yeah,
same word, right?
failed again.
Exactly. So na, and then like that, and then we have some uniliterals.
T, S.
It's not a S.
Oh. So what's the top one? Is the top one a T or?
Yeah, T is correct. T.
Yeah, and then the bottom one, because it looks like a flat line of a line through it, like a Z or something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe we can check sort of what Johnson would have in her list of uniliterals. It's this one.
Okay.
Something like that, or I don't know. It's always this sort of. We have to try to imagine the idealized form, so it's meant to be a G anyway. But yeah.
Okay. G. Y. And is that meant to be Oramach at the end, or like the determinative for a person?
It's meant to be. Yeah, it looks like it, but it's meant to be another sort of determinative for some kind of vegetal, or if I can find it. It's this one.
Okay.
That's what it's when it's long like this and it goes under the line in a way. I think that's sort of the distinction. But yeah.
All right. So TGY. And it's a type of slant, probably. So it's got to be some other thing that's grown, but not.
Yeah, so let's just quickly take key fruit. Right, so this is what we have. Tegi.
Okay.
And I don't know these words, but in Coptic apparently it becomes tikya. I don't know how common it is. Where it actually means gourd or just vegetables. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Great. You want to try and translate it all?
Yeah. So with the sharings or portions, which came to be or which happened because of the gods.
Maybe 4. We'll see.
Okay. For the gods. And then these portions are of or from vineyards, from the vineyards, and the fruit trees or the fruit orchards. Whatever,
yeah, exactly. Like orchards. Okay, great. That was easy peasy. And let's see how the sort of Ptolemaic solves the same thing. Who wants to try this one?
So it's Henna, Hetneb, and is the G7 the Neturu, or is it just a G7?
It's Neturu, I think, because of these plural strokes.
Okay. Så nu tror jag att nu Iri.
All of this goes together. You see what this is?
Yeah, it's the grapes, I guess. So it's the same word as
Yeah.
above. So Ali.
Yeah, exactly. But it was written earlier like Jarer or something. Yeah.
And then is it M het? Or is it MN het?
Just let me just find my notes. Jarer. And also, just I think this one, this is just N in this sort of Ptolemaic stuff where they just take the. Or I guess if it's a plural, you're right. It would be nu actually. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But often they just write N with this, but it's just N. And then so you had come. So you're right. It's M, the first one, and then this one is something. It's not N. It's something else. It's also. It's actually. It should be more like this.
Oh, so S het.
Yeah. Right.
I have no idea what type of word means.
I think you know it, but it's never written like that.
Okay.
What is it in Coptic? It becomes source, like this. So if we write sechet, it's this one. Which means country, but it's usually written with this spelling here. I don't know.
And then it's a new and hesp. That's an unknown word for me again.
Yeah, I know none of these words, but this is hesep. It means garden or meadow is what we get here. Hi to the cat. Okay. Let's write it with an S.
So then we'll be with all the things of the gods in the fields of grapes and in the fields of garden. So
fruit. Right. Exactly. In the sort of in the fields of meadow, in the meadow field, in the orchard field, in the garden field. Yeah. And we see this. I find this sort of sechet really awkward, but I think it's typical of this Ptolemaic line that they want to have more variety. It's important that they don't do like in the Demotic where they have the same word 2 times. It's very important that they switch. Okay, great. Anyone wants to try and have a go at the Greek?
Well, I guess I can help you with the Greek.
Yeah.
I can try the Greek. So what did we have before? Because here it's introduced with homoios there, and similarly. So let us see. Rosetta. So, and I don't know here, prosetaxe, would it be commanded or just apportioned?
Thinking commanded, yeah. That it's Ptolemy that commands something, orders.
Yes. So I think what we have now is we don't really have an infinitive yet, right? And similarly, also, so we have the homoios, which is an adverb, and it means similarly. And then the de is a particle. It adds to the previous. And then we have the kai, which is again a particle, and it also adds. Also. And then we've got tas kathekoussas apomoiras. And I think the apomoiras are the portions, right? And goes with the tas, which is its article. And then kathekoussas are the appropriate. That's a participle. And then tois theois is for the gods. Tois is the article, and theois is for the gods, dative, plural. And then the rest shows where this apomoira, these portions would come from. Apo tes ampelitidos ges kaiton paradeson. So they will come from apo, and they will come from two things. We have the te, kai. So it means they will come both from and. And then we've got the source of this apomoira is the ampelitis gie, which is the vineyard land, the fields that are for growing vineyards.
Is the accent here on which eye am I supposed to put the accent?
I think that will be ampelitidos, the antepenultima. And then we have another genitive from the gardens, ton paradeison. And we should say that apomoira is a terminus technicus of the Ptolemaic taxation. It is this special tax that was introduced to pay, and which I think the settlers had to pay less from. So it is land that belongs to settlers, and they have some special privileges. So now I don't exactly remember the background, but apomoira is in any case a kind of taxation term.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with the priests and their taxation. This is the land.
What they should get, what the priests should get from this land, and it is a percentage that they have to pay. I don't now remember the percentage, but this is what goes to the temples for the cult, among others, the cult of Arsinoe.
Right, and that is then the equivalent of what we had in the Demotic, which was the denit, which meant the parts, and which the Ptolemaic sort of just says everything of the gods. It's a bit imprecise almost. But I guess they didn't know. I don't know why they didn't just choose denit, or why they sort of almost skipped it and went for something very generic. So
a question: what's the idea about the Ptolemaic, the hieroglyphic text? Is it that this is kind of new composition, that it follows the Greek, or does it use old terms or old concepts?
So it's always different from the Demotic. almost. I mean, sometimes there are, but it's almost as if they really, really try their best to find equivalent terms that are not the same as the sort of people's language almost, or people's writing. So, and the grammar is mostly Middle Egyptian. And what's interesting about Ptolemaic writing in general is that they use more and more of this sort of cryptic type of writings, or sort of puns, and they sort of switch it up and use very sort of interesting creative, let's say, spellings, which becomes even more which becomes even worse later on, especially in the Common Era. So one example that we've seen quite a few times is this glyph here, which normally would be written, which is a suffix pronoun for the third person singular, so F, and so it should be written as a snake normally, and here it becomes this person that carries a basket on their head, and that is usually the determinative for the verb phi, right, which means to lift something, or phi in Coptic. So it's the lifting and the phi, and you take that F that begins the word, and that becomes the suffix pronoun. That's why it's F. And we see that quite a bit, those kind of puns that they use. All right. Great. Let's move on then. Anyone else up for this line? Katrina, you want to try?
I can see the third sign is a when, but that's pretty much it.
And it's not a when.
When,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry. It really looks like it. So I would also think it's a when, but I'm checking the transcription. This is the when, and this is actually enket, which we haven't seen yet. So let's just quickly look it up. Thing. Right. So it's this 3 number here, actually, which is a ligature of the wave and the cup and the bread loaf and the diagonal stroke. Yeah. So that is enket. This is, so just interrupt me if anyone wants to take over, but this is the masculine definite article, so pa, which normally is written some more like this in a way, but in the Rosetta Stone we've seen it always written like this. And this is something that we haven't really seen. It looks very similar to the dit, so the infinitive of to give, but we have seen it, did we see it? Wasn't that long ago? Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. It's sep. So it means rest, maybe. Sep. Right, remainder. It becomes sep. And it's sort of this. I really want some time to ask like the demoticist about how they figure out all these, how they derived all these cursive ligatures and stuff. I guess there are many missing links from the hieratic to the, I don't know. But it's very, just, I guess we just have to learn them, just learn it.
Yes, and it's
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought the next one was the determinative for enket.
No, sadly. We've seen it maybe a few times.
Is it jer?
Yeah. You're right. It's jer.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
So ger and is it n?
And we also this one first.
It's a plural.
It's Jeru usually. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have. Yeah, that's it. I said it at the same time, but it's Jeru, right? Because Jer always comes with this suffix pronoun. Yeah.
Okay, then it's an n and a when. Or is it an r and when?
It's actually it's a R actually. This is an R, right? We saw a bit that they're typically a bit more oblique, but yeah, R. You're right. So let me just R, and then you said when, right?
When? No clue. Remage, perhaps.
Yeah, actually, these two shouldn't be sort of stuck together. It's more like this, and then you have another line at the end. And they all sort of go together. All sort of this is one thing. We have in the beginning we have when na u or something like that, which is when, and then this this should be sort of more like this, so na, and then u, plural stroke here, and that's the imperfect converter. So the sort of Coptic na, and we have again here now a circumstantial eu u, so this becomes eu u. So we have this large sort of phrase, which is er, when, now, eu u, and it's the relative pronoun with the imperfect converter. So it's a sort of imperfect relative clause that is began here, and then we have, because our subject is a pronoun, we have to introduce this with another eu. That's sort of what explained this. If it had been, if the subject were a noun, then we wouldn't need the circumstantial here in this case. It's for those who want to read up on it. It's Johnson paragraph 102. That's the sort of that's where this special form is explained. Okay.
No clue about the next one.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, okay. That's a new verb. Let's have a look. Meh. Is it? Wow, I can't find it. This one, meh, to seize or to capture. And yeah, so what we have is really this. This is this glyph with the T over here. So it's something like this, basically. Yeah. And that becomes, as the DP showed, it becomes amah. Yeah. Okay. Do you remember this one? No, maybe this is a bit tricky. It looks very much like something we've seen before, but it's not. It looks like what we actually get here. Do you remember this, Katrina?
All things that come to mind is empty, but
no. This is the pa-e-f, the entire sort of what's it called, possessive pronoun, which becomes pef, right? Pa-e-f. His becomes just this sort of abbreviated writing, like this. But that's not what we have in the first one. The first one should be written. sort of more idealized, it would be just a stroke like this, and then something like this. I don't remember if we've seen it. This is then N, and im, so inside as a preposition, and then I think so it would be inside, and then u, the suffix pronoun. So n, im, u. I mean, doesn't not mean inside, but in maybe. And im doesn't work. Yeah, right. It's the preposition n or m that in before a pronoun it gets this sort of alternative form, which is what we have here when we are like in Coptic, right? Like it has a pre-pronominal form. So instead of just being the n, we get this different writing, which would sort of maybe correspond to mo, since we are ending in a third person plural suffix pronoun. That's what we have. So en imu. So something like emo. Yeah. This is also a bit tricky. We have this, maybe we've seen before. It's a verb.
Iri?
Yeah, iri, exactly.
Okay. So is it EU first?
And we have an I at the beginning. So this is a compound. All of this is a kind of compound preposition. We have E, and then we have, I don't really know what this second stroke is doing. We can check it out. But this becomes E, ir, and then this we've maybe seen before. It's the head, like the facing, the her head from the Egyptians. So it's ir, her. Maybe let's have a look again. Ir, her. Right, so we have, maybe what comes after is actually not pi, but it's part of it's a determinative. We'll see. So it seems that we have the reed leaf, and then the second stroke is the hand to mouth guy, and then, as you said, iri, the verb, and then we have the facing head for her. Yeah. And it really means, in this case, it really means before. I don't know if I have it. Let's see if I can find it. I know it's paragraph 43. Right. So this is what we have. The two strokes, the iri, and then the head, which means before. Yeah, she says spatially. Okay.
That
But
the determinative plus a W at the end?
Yeah, I think this is really pi f, because of what comes afterwards. So I think this is the writing for the preposition, and then we get pi f, and it's not u. This is the normal, the uniliteral.
There's the F then.
Like I, the yod. And then we've seen this a while back now. It's been a while since we've seen this sign. It's this. This is the. I don't know. I don't know if it helps, but this is the equivalent.
So his father is a it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's it. And I write it with this little thing here because of the last sign, which is So, which says that the T was pronounced anyway, which we know it was Yot. Okay. And that brings us to about here. So this one is just the diagonal R. So some future thing, or in order to, some kind of final clause. And then this is it looks a bit like this one, but it's much smaller. So this is the infinitive of to give. So dit.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it an aleph or is it a pa?
It's neither, because it's so flat. So when we have this flat thing, what could it be? We've seen it. It can mean several things. Which it can be a P, uniliteral. I'm pretty sure. Right. Yeah, it can be just the P uniliteral. It's not in this case. And in this case, it's the verb men. So it's the sort of ligature is the box thingy with all those, and then the wave underneath. So it's men in this case. And this is I have to check it. This is way too much now. Men to remain. So here, yeah, right. So we have men, and then we get some complex thing with pestle, glyph, which I guess was part of the earlier writing. Yeah, like here, for example. And then we end with the man determinative, which is here. Yeah. Okay, so we have and yeah, so and this is all of this is sort of an infinitive, and it has the suffix pronoun at the end. So it's sort of men. I don't know how to write, if I should do this menu. Let's see how that works out. Like this. Do you remember this?
Nope.
It's a tricky line. This was a really tricky line. So this is also it's her, but in the pre-pronominal form as well. So this is specifically, it's sort of her, u. What is the Coptic then? Because Coptic it would be ha. Is it haro, maybe something like that? Haro. Her. Right, so it's her just before a noun, and then when it comes before a preposition, it becomes her. And we have what we have. I have to write it completely. I have to write her, u, under them. Yeah, this is what we get. So this, yeah, don't ask me how it becomes that, but that's what it is anyway. And we see that in the Rosetta stone as well. We've seen it before. It has this sort of, it doesn't really write it all out. The idealized form is much more like a loop, like this. And then here is maybe the second R. This is an R, and then something here that makes it third person plural. That gives it the three strokes underneath. Okay. Do you want to try and read it out?
And then the remaining things which complete towards there being it doesn't make any sense to me.
What about this one, the Jeru?
Which they complete?
It belongs to this one. I think it's just all of them, like all the remaining things.
Oh, so
Does
that's
that make sense?
the teru.
Okay, so all the remaining
Teru,
things.
right?
Yes.
I can just write it because that's Teru. So yeah, you could go on. All the remaining things.
Yes. That shall be.
No, this is just a relative pronoun. So that which, and then it's a past tense sort of setting. It's just imperfect. But it's hard to. Yeah, I don't remember how that day. Right, we have a third person plural suffix pronoun. That day. And all the remaining thing that they were in, that they had, that they grasped, that they seized in them, like it's a resumptive pronoun, a mo.
So under his father, okay, and he give.
Yeah. And then ar, like in order to. And this is just a causative, I think.
In order to give.
Cause.
I forget. Yeah, cause. Okay. And the man here was.
To remain.
To remain. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So remain under them. Okay.
Yeah, under them. So in their possession, maybe. Does that make sense? All the remaining things which they had, which they already had in a way, the imperfect, which they already had them under his father or before his father, in the time of his father, in order to cause that they remain with them.
Okay, so he shall not take away things they already had.
Yeah, basically, I think. It would be interesting to see, right? I think that makes sense somehow, which they had them under the time of his father to cause their remaining under them. Yeah. Okay, I think maybe we have time for some of this, if someone wants to go ahead with this.
I can try to plow through it.
Yeah.
Hena Fetneb. When in, is this Herat?
Yeah, it is.
It looks like a G, but it's not, is it?
It's not a G.
Yeah, it's the fourth H. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what the T is doing, but yeah, okay.
Sen. I mean,
Sen. Yeah. But we always get these T's, right? These unnecessary T's.
I mean,
okay.
Put it on the list. How many times have we had it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Herhem, Etef.
Herhem, Etef.
Sheps.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Sheps.
RD.
Yeah, RRD.
Mensen. Hersen.
Yeah, I should write it as you say it. Sen. Okay.
Okay, so along with everything which was under them, so everything belonging to them, before his majesty, his father, before the incarnation of his father, Shep's luxuries?
Could it be an
understand.
adjective that goes with father?
Oh, like his noble father or something? His
Something like that.
something like that. Splendid father. Will be made to remain. Wait. And son. No. Will be made. I don't understand. And they remain. It will be made that they remain under them.
Yeah, right. So we can. How do you take this, like a sort of relative form?
I'm taking it as like a prospective segimef, that they may remain, as in the possessions they may remain.
That they may remain under them or with them. And how does that? So, but I don't never know how the grammar works in this. But how do you? Yeah, how does ready and mensen sort of go together?
I don't know.
But okay, but I like that. So to cause that they remain with them.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, we can always check. I will check it more after. Yeah.
Could I ask a question about the CPS? What does it depict? Whatever.
Yeah. Do we know what it depicts? I mean, there's some kind of kingly pharaoh with a symbol of power. What is the symbol?
Okay.
I think it's a flail. I think he's sitting on a throne holding a flail.
Okay.
Right, and that's a typical. That's just the spelling of Shepes usually. Shepes. Yeah, actually, often it's just the sort of pharaoh that sits. Is this a pharaoh or is it a god? Let me see. Where do we have? Here we have the splendid noble one. And if you look at the spellings, yeah, so we get it here, for example. A51. So I always look up in the gardener's list, and if there's some noble on chair with flagellum. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we will leave it at that because it's about 7 o'clock, unless you want to continue, but I think it's fine. Are there anything, questions, comments? Otherwise, I will write in the Discord with respect to next week how we do it time, so we can try to get Aurelia on board. That would be great, and Randy as well. And then I'll see you all in a week. That's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ciao.
Ciao.